Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're diving into something pretty fascinating. You sent in some research and you're really curious about how social media and all this new tech is changing the way humans connect, especially like the potential benefits of being so hyper-connected.
Yeah. And what's really interesting about what you sent is this idea that all this tech is kind of pushing us towards a hive mind, like ants or bees, you know?
A hive mind.
Yeah. But instead of like antenna and pheromones, we have social media and XR and AI.
Right, like we're developing some kind of global nervous system.
Exactly. And the research actually looks at real platforms and tech that you probably use that are shaping this phenomenon.
Okay, so to understand this whole hive mind thing,
Okay.
think about like a flock of birds all moving together in perfect sync.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the research suggests is happening.
Yeah, like we're becoming more interconnected
Right.
and in a way more coordinated.
And the research actually focuses on the positive potential of all of this.
Yeah, for sure.
So no dystopian sci-fi scenario here.
Not at all.
Okay, cool. So where do we start with all of this?
Well, one example the research highlights is the explosion of social audio and video platforms, like Clubhouse or Twitter Spaces, where people have these real-time conversations. And of course, the video boom on TikTok and Instagram.
It feels like we're constantly plugged into these global conversations now.
Yeah, and that's key. It breaks down geographical barriers and gives us access to information and opportunities to collaborate that we couldn't have even imagined a few years ago.
So you're saying like I could learn from experts or brainstorm with people across the world all from my couch?
Exactly. That's the power of this instant, always-on connectivity.
Wow.
It's like we're creating this massive web of knowledge and ideas. And this is where it gets really cool. The research actually connects this to the evolution of a hive mind, where individual contributions create something much greater than the sum of its parts.
So it's not just chatting online. It's about how this connectivity might be speeding up our progress as a species.
Exactly. Now, the research also goes into XR and AI and how they're creating these incredibly immersive and interactive experiences.
Yeah, this section on AI-powered avatars in virtual reality blew me away. Like imagine going to a meeting in VR and it feels like you're actually in the room, even if people are miles away.
It's wild, right? And this is just the start. The research explains how AI is getting so sophisticated, it can personalize these experiences and make them crazy lifelike.
It's like stepping into another reality. And the research suggests this kind of immersion could revolutionize everything from education and training to collaboration and entertainment.
For sure. Imagine learning a language by actually living in a virtual world where everyone speaks it, or collaborating on a design project in a shared VR space where you can manipulate objects and see the changes happening in real time.
The possibilities are mind-blowing. It's not all in the virtual world, though, right? The research talks about how all this tech is accelerating how we connect in the real world, too.
Right. It's like the physical and digital are merging. The research points out that faster communication and less lag are making interactions almost instant. Like we're forming this huge neural network with information flowing between people at lightning speed.
So it's not just the platforms, it's how fast we connect and share information. Like our collective brain power is getting a turbo boost.
Exactly. And that brings us to the concept of swarm learning, which the research gets into.
Swarm learning. Yeah, that really caught my eye. What is that exactly? It sounds pretty futuristic.
It is pretty mind-blowing. Imagine thousands of doctors all over the world pooling their anonymous patient data to train AI that can diagnose rare diseases way better than any individual could. That's swarm learning. It's basically humans and AI working together in a decentralized network, sharing knowledge and solving problems collectively.
So we're tapping into the collective intelligence of a hive mind, but on a global scale.
Precisely. And the research even mentions brain-computer interfaces, which could take this to a whole other level.
Whoa, brain-to-brain communication. That sounds like a sci-fi movie.
I know, right? But the research suggests it could actually happen. Imagine being able to share your thoughts directly with another person without talking or typing. The potential for collaboration and creativity is insane.
That would change everything.
Yeah.
But obviously, any powerful technology has its risks. We have to consider the potential downsides.
You're absolutely right. And the research acknowledges those concerns. We'll definitely want to get into those a bit later.
Okay, so we've laid out some basics of how tech is driving this whole hive mind concept. But what's the point? Why should we care? And how does it connect to your interest in the potential benefits?
That's the key question, right? To answer it, we need to explore what this interconnectedness could mean for humanity as a whole. It's not just about individual experiences, it's about the potential for collective advancement.
This is where it gets really exciting.
Uh,
I'm ready to go deeper.
the research actually uses this term global brain to describe where we might be headed.
A global brain.
It's like we're all these individual neurons firing and connecting, forming this larger, more complex intelligence.
Wow, that's a pretty wild concept. But I can see how all these advancements in communication and AI could be setting the stage for that.
And here's where it gets even more interesting. The research also talks about how AI is becoming so advanced, it's essentially forming its own kind of hive mind.
So it's not just humans connecting with humans, but also AI connecting with AI, like parallel hive minds developing.
Exactly. And the research points out that these two hive minds are starting to intersect and integrate. We're already seeing it with AI assistants and recommendation algorithms, even those AI-powered avatars we talked about.
It's like we're creating this hybrid intelligence, a fusion of human and artificial minds.
And that's where the real potential is. The research suggests that this merging of human and AI could help us solve some of humanity's biggest challenges.
Okay, like what? Give me an example.
Well, take climate change, for instance. Imagine a global network of AI and human experts constantly analyzing data modeling scenarios and working together on solutions. This hybrid hive mind could help us develop more sustainable energy sources, optimize resource allocation, and even predict and prevent environmental disasters.
That's incredible.
Right.
It's like having a global brain dedicated to solving the climate crisis. What other possibilities are out there?
Well, the research talks about healthcare. Imagine a world where AI can diagnose diseases with crazy accuracy, personalized treatment plans, and even assist with really complex surgeries.
Wow.
And this AI could be constantly learning and improving through swarm learning, drawing on the knowledge of doctors and researchers all over the world.
So it's not about replacing doctors, but giving them a boost and making healthcare more effective and available for everyone.
Exactly. And the benefits go beyond just problem solving. This interconnectedness could also unlock so much potential for creativity and innovation.
So I'm curious to hear more about that.
Well, think about it. When you bring diverse perspectives and expertise together, you spark new ideas and solutions that wouldn't happen in isolation. This hybrid hive mind could be like a breeding ground for innovation, accelerating breakthroughs in science, art, technology, everything you can imagine.
It's like a global brainstorming session with AI amplifying our creative potential.
Exactly.
But hold on.
Yeah.
I have to ask, what about the downsides?
Right.
I mean, giving up that much control to AI seems a little risky.
You raise a good point, and the research acknowledges those concerns. It emphasizes how important it is to develop ethical frameworks and safeguards to make sure AI is used responsibly and benefits humanity.
So it's not about blindly trusting AI, but guiding its development in a way that aligns with our values.
Exactly. And that's where this whole hive mind concept becomes crucial. It's not just the technology. It's about how we as a collective decide to use it. It's about working together, being transparent, and having a shared vision for the future.
So this isn't some inevitable future that's forced on us. We're actively shaping it through our choices and actions.
Precisely. The research even suggests that this interconnectedness could lead to more empathy and understanding between people. When we're constantly sharing information and perspectives, it's harder to hold on to rigid beliefs and prejudices.
It's like we're becoming part of a global community, more aware of our shared humanity
Right.
and our interconnectedness.
Exactly. And that's powerful. Imagine a world where communication and understanding go beyond geographical borders and cultural differences.
It sounds like a recipe for more peace and cooperation.
Yeah.
But let's be real. Not everyone is on board with this level of connection. Some people might see it as a threat to individual freedom and privacy.
That's a valid concern and something we need to address carefully. The research emphasizes the importance of balancing collective progress and individual rights.
So it's not about creating a hive mind where everyone thinks and acts the same.
Yeah.
It's about fostering a diverse network where individual voices are still valued.
Exactly. It's about harnessing the power of the collective while preserving the unique perspectives and freedoms that make us human.
This is a lot to think about. It's both exciting and a little scary to consider the implications.
I agree. It's why it's so important to have these discussions. The future isn't set in stone. It's something we're creating together.
So what does all this mean for our listener who sent in this amazing research?
It means they're already part of this evolving hive mind, contributing to this incredible network of knowledge and ideas. Their curiosity and engagement are helping to shape the future. And that's exciting.
I'm sure they're eager to hear more about how they can be a part of this evolution.
Mm.
What concrete actions can they take to embrace this interconnected future and help steer it in a positive direction?
That's a great question and something we can definitely explore further. The research actually offers some insights on how people can navigate this new world and contribute to a brighter, more connected future.
Sounds like we have even more to unpack. This is turning into quite the deep dives. So we've talked about the big picture, but let's bring it back down to earth.
Yeah.
How could this interconnectedness actually impact the listener's daily life?
That's where it gets really exciting. The research highlights some pretty amazing possibilities. Imagine a world where learning is totally personalized and on demand. Like, if you need to learn a new skill for work, you could just jump into a VR training program led by AI and connect with other learners from around the world.
So it's like a customized education tailored to you, available anytime, anywhere.
Exactly. And think about work. Imagine collaborating with colleagues all over the world in a virtual space, brainstorming ideas and seeing designs come to life in real time.
It sounds like it could make remote work way more engaging.
Right. No more boring video calls.
Exactly.
And it's not just about work and education. This interconnectedness could change our personal lives, too. Imagine connecting with people who share your passions no matter where they live. You could join virtual book clubs, attend concerts with friends on different continents, or even learn a new hobby with a group of like-minded people.
It's like breaking down all the barriers to connection and community. It could be huge for people who feel isolated or have niche interests.
Absolutely. And the research suggests this could lead to a more inclusive and understanding society. When we're constantly exposed to different perspectives and cultures, it's harder to hold on to prejudices.
It's like we're all becoming citizens of a global village.
Yeah.
More aware of our shared humanity. But of course, with all this connectivity, there's potential for misuse. What about misinformation, privacy violations, manipulation?
Those are valid concerns, and the research addresses them. It emphasizes the importance of critical thinking and media literacy in this hyper-connected world. We need to be smart about the information we take in and share. We need to be aware of the potential biases behind the content.
So it's not just absorbing information, but evaluating it, questioning sources, thinking for ourselves.
Exactly. And the research also stresses advocating for strong data privacy and ethical guidelines for AI. We need to make sure these technologies are used responsibly and that our rights are protected.
It sounds like this future requires us to be more connected and more discerning, more collaborative and more critical. It's a tricky balance.
It is, but it's a challenge we can handle. The research is optimistic about this hive mind future, but it's not a utopia. It's up to us to shape this evolution and make sure it benefits everyone.
So what would you say to our listener who's clearly interested in this future? What's the most important thing to remember as they navigate this increasingly interconnected world?
I'd say embrace the possibilities, but be aware and intentional. Stay curious, stay connected, but also stay critical and informed. Your voice matters. Your choices matter. You're not just watching this happen. You're an active participant shaping the future with every interaction, every thought, every action.
That's a powerful message. It's empowering and a little daunting, but ultimately hopeful. The future isn't set. It's something we're creating together. And to our listener, we say keep exploring, keep questioning, keep connecting. The future of the hive mind is in your hands.
Well said. And remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. Enjoy the ride.
That's a great point. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.